What's the deal, YouTube? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. I ain't gonna really hold y'all too. I'm gonna just get right to it, right? Get right to it. First and foremost, I'd like to say I hope all y'all vibrating at a high frequency, though, right? Not letting no negative energy stop y'all positive energy. Instead, I just want to talk to y'all. As you can see by the title, this is how I feel, right? This is how I feel. And I'm gonna get right to it. I'm gonna get right to it. About to roll up. I don't know what channel I'm gonna post this on. I might post this on my spiritual Joe channel, but I'm gonna get right to it, though, right? This is how I feel. And I feel like, why the fuck do I gotta pay bills or listen to a motherfucker that's trying to dictate me in my life if these motherfuckers can't take no sunlight naturally? This is how I feel. Why do I have to listen to a motherfucker telling me I gotta pay bills, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, if these motherfuckers can't take no sun? Why should I obey your laws if you're a different species than me? You feel me? Why should I have to obey your laws if you're a different species than me? You know what I'm saying? You're a different species. These people used to hang us from trees, bro. Why should we listen to anything that they have to tell us as blacks and Latinos or as black people? You know what I'm saying? I ain't even going to include the Latinos. This is for my black people. Why should we have to listen to these people? These people put us in slavery. Why should we go with anything they have to offer us? Why should we try to integrate with them and go with their schooling system, their education system? Why should we listen to these people at all? This is how I feel, man. I don't feel like we should be listening to none of these motherfuckers' laws. They can't take no sun. You need to have them laws for your species and your people that can't take no sun. And I need to have a motherfucking government, medical system, an education system for my people and my species, because we're obviously a different species. You see what I'm saying? That's just how I feel, bro. This is how I feel. This is how I feel. If you can't take no sun, you shouldn't be telling my people what the fuck we can or can't do. You shouldn't be telling us shit. You can't take no fucking sun. You need to be telling that shit to your species and your people, because we're obviously a different fucking species. So I'm saying, this is how I feel. This is how I feel, man. This is how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like we should be paying bills. You know what I'm saying? They'll never give black people reparations, because if they give black people reparations, that's going to just cause more hatred towards black people, because white people going to be like, damn, why the fuck did they get this and that? We weren't the ones that were doing this and that to them during slavery. Y'all not supposed to be on the fucking planet. This is how I feel. Y'all not supposed to be on the fucking planet, because if y'all was supposed to be on the planet, you would have a pigmentation that allows you to take the sunlight naturally without getting burned by the shit. That's just how I feel. That's just how I fucking feel, man. Why do we have to listen to this government if this government is telling us to do this and do that, and all these laws are oppressing us? And the government is full of motherfuckers that can't take no fucking sunlight. So why should I have to listen to your fucking laws if you're a different species than me? Those laws should only apply to your species. You see what I'm saying? I should have a government, a medical system, an education system, a police system, a agriculture, a food system, etc. for my species, because we're a different species. So why the fuck should I listen to anything you're telling me in my species when we're obviously a different species? We're obviously on a different frequency and vibration, spiritually, physically, and mentally. Why the fuck should I listen to you and your species? We're a different species. We're a different species. And you want me to listen to you and your laws and your government? No. That's just how I feel, bro. That's just how I feel, man. And black people, we need to y'all need to wake the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? It's time for black people to wake the fuck up. Why the fuck are we obeying these laws, obeying this government, obeying this fucked up ass system, when these motherfuckers can't even take no sun? They're a different species. These are the same people that had us in slavery back in the day. They was hanging us from trees and shit, raping our women, raping us, all type of shit back in the day. And we're gonna listen to these motherfuckers now, the education system they gave us, religion and all this shit? That's just how I feel, bro. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. And I think this bitch gave me a 3.5. This do not look like 5 grams. That's just how I feel, though, man. That's just how I feel, bro. I don't think we should be listening to these motherfuckers' laws. I don't think we should be listening to these motherfuckers nothing, bro. They're a whole different species than us. They're a whole different species, and I ain't gonna make this video too long. I'm gonna just make this while I'm trying to get right real quick, right? They're a whole different species, right? So, with them being a whole different species, they're in a whole different frequency and vibration. So therefore, they may say or do some shit or put some shit in motion, a law, etc., that may affect us differently. You may tell us to do this shit because you feel like that's the best thing in your brain because you're a different species, but that shit may fuck our people over, my people. You see what I'm saying? That's just how I feel, man. I feel like we shouldn't be listening to these motherfuckers' laws. I feel like we shouldn't be obeying the government. I feel like we shouldn't be paying for shit, first of all, because we're natural to the planet. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that fruits and vegetables goes through a process where they get picked and harvested and washed off, etc. And we possibly are paying for that. But all the other shit, we shouldn't be paying for none of that shit, bro. We shouldn't be paying for none of that shit. We shouldn't even be being fed that shit in the first place because we're a different species. We're eating the Caucasian diet. That's the reason why blacks and Latinos are walking around this motherfucker sick with high blood pressure and diabetes, because we're eating the fucking diet of the Neanderthals. These motherfuckers can eat meat and digest that shit properly because they have a higher hydrochloric acid in their stomach. So they have a digestive system that's able to break the food down and they're able to shit it out. We, being natural to the planet, being gods and goddesses, we don't have no high hydrochloric acid in our stomach. So when we eat meat and all this shit, it just sits in our stomach and it ferments and it rots and it turns into disease because we're putting some unnatural shit in our body because we have a motherfucking a diet in the system from a different fucking species. That's why we sick. That's why blacks and Latinos be sick. And after a while, when you fucking put some shit in your stomach and it's fucking with your stomach, it's gonna start fucking with your mental health. That's just how I feel. We shouldn't be listening to these motherfuckers for shit they have to say. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even how I feel. That's the truth. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? When you're eating a bunch of bullshit, after a while, it's gonna start affecting your brain. And we're eating the fucking Neanderthal diet. And honestly, I honestly believe if it was legal, that white people will fucking eat each other. They will eat like human beings. Cause some of the motherfuckers be doing that shit. Jeffrey Dahmer and all that shit, that nigga was just being himself, bro. That nigga was just being himself. A lot of Caucasians not being themselves. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I also believe too, people say that slavery is ended and all that shit. Really, in the year 1865, I'm gonna do a video on this shit too. But I believe it was the year 1865. Abraham Lincoln supposedly, well, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, where it supposedly freed the slaves. But actually, in the year 1865, when he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, it signed us into slavery because it was a bloody, bloodshed civil war, and we was fucking them up. So they had to do some shit to fool us and make us feel like we were free, so we would stop fucking them up. So they said, okay, nah, y'all not slaves no more. We're gonna stop trying to enslave y'all. We're gonna stop hitting y'all whips and hanging y'all. We're gonna stop doing that. We're gonna stop doing that. We're gonna give y'all jobs. We're gonna give y'all jobs now. Yeah, we're gonna give y'all jobs now. And instead of a slave master whipping a nigga with a slave, it became a relationship with your employer. Nigga, we still slaves. You working a job, 9 out of 10, you got a fucking white boss at the top. You probably got a Mexican supervisor. Because they gonna give everybody privilege but the fucking gods of this planet, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You probably got a Mexican supervisor, but his boss is a fucking white man, a Caucasian. And that is your slave owner. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's your slave master, you know what I'm saying? Because if he fires you, you can't go get no fruits and no vegetables. You can't get no food to feed your family. And that's the same thing as getting hit with a fucking whip if you can't go feed your fucking family. That's the same pain you will feel getting hit with a whip. You not being able to feed your family or pay your bills, that's the same pain, nigga. Your boss is your slave master. So why the fuck are we obeying these motherfuckers' laws, obeying their government when they a whole different fucking species than us? They can't take no sun naturally, and as the sun heats up, that's why they say the poor will inherit the how that shit go in the Bible? The meek will inherit the rich or some shit like that. The poor gonna be on top because the motherfuckers that's rich right now, they can't take no sunlight, bruh. And the sun is getting hotter and hotter, and as the sun gets hotter and hotter, they're not gonna be able to enjoy this planet, nigga. They ain't gonna be able to enjoy this world. And the people that's at the bottom, the blacks and the Latinos, we gonna be able to live the fucking life we supposed to be living on this planet. Because these motherfuckers gonna be exterminated, eradicated off the planet. They're not natural to the planet. And the planet is a being. The planet is alive, and the planet is just like how not comparing it to a dog, but how a dog has fleas and is scratching the fleas off. That's how the planet is getting rid of these inorganic beings by heating up, getting the sun hotter and hotter and hotter. And if there was no such thing as time, because time is a fucking illusion. If time did not exist, and that's how you know time is not real, because if time was real, they wouldn't have daylight savings where they fuck with the time. Like I tell y'all all the time, they're not fucking with the sun, they're fucking with the time because time is not real, it's an illusion. So if there was no such thing as time, these fucking Caucasians and these people that get sunburned, they will literally disintegrate. Because time slows everything down. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. It slows everything down. It slows everything down, bro. So that if there was no time, these motherfuckers that can't take no sun, they'll literally disintegrate. You know what I'm saying? That's why time flies. That's why time be flying. And when you don't pay attention to that shit be flying. But when your ass at work and you looking at the clock, like, fuck. damn, that shit be going slow as fuck because you paying attention to it and you're giving your energy to the shit and therefore you're making the shit exist. But when you're not paying attention to the shit don't exist and the shit just be flying. When you're having fun, you're not paying attention to the time, the shit just be flying. When you're having good time, like when you're your childhood years, when you're not paying attention to the time, the shit be flying and you be like, damn, the time just flew by because time is not real, nigga. It's not real. I'm not gonna lose y'all and you get to just, you know what I'm saying, talking too high frequency. But I feel like we shouldn't be listening to these motherfuckers' laws. None of that shit. They on a whole different frequency and vibration. They a whole different species. And let me roll this shit up so I get right real quick. I don't know what channel I'm gonna post this on. Probably gonna post this on my Super Saint Joe channel. But these beings are on a whole different frequency, man. They're on a whole different frequency and a whole different vibration. Why should we obey their laws? Listen to anything they have to say for us? Because anything they have to say is not gonna. Anything they have for us is not gonna be good, man. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. That's just how I feel, man. We shouldn't be listening to a motherfucker that can't take no. That's how I feel. I don't know how y'all feel, but this how I feel. I shouldn't be listening to a motherfucker that can't take no sun, one. You can't take no sun, right? So, therefore, obviously, we're different. Therefore, obviously, we're on a different vibration, spiritually, physically, and mentally. So you may do some shit or put forth a law that may be good for you spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. But that shit may hinder me and my people, my species, because we're different. So I feel like we should be listening to their laws. I feel like we shouldn't be integrated into the education system. Because why the fuck we want, this is just how I feel. This is how I feel. I don't know how y'all feel. This is how I feel. Why would I want to listen to a motherfucker teach me, first of all, right, when these same people had us in slavery? Why would I want to listen to a motherfucker's God or their religion or what they feel like they believe in spiritually when these motherfuckers used to hang us from trees, bro? They still do. What the fuck? Why would I want to take any advice spiritually, emotionally, anything from these beings? They're a different species. This is how I feel. Maybe it's because I decalcified my pineal gland and I'm not walking around this bitch thinking that we're all the same species and that I'll have my heaven when I leave. Fuck that, I want my heaven now. Why I gotta die to get my fucking heaven? And these white people have their heaven on this earth, but they can't take no sun, so you like, this is how I feel. Am I the only person that sees this shit? This is how I feel, bro. Why do I have to listen to a motherfucker that can't take no sun, bro? You can't take no sunlight. You should be listening to me. But how the system is set up, you have privilege. And you only have privilege for the mere fact that you can't take no sunlight. And as the sun gets hotter and hotter and hotter, we will all see that we're not the same species. The sun is actually separating us right now. Because the government is going to continue to lie and say that we're all the same species, this and that. But we're not all the same fucking species. Obviously, if one of us can take, that's just the obvious difference, right? So for instance, let me make this example, right? So if the obvious difference is the sun, right? And we see that there's an obvious difference that the sun is affecting a different species of people on this planet, is giving them sunburn, etc. We see that on the outside, right? We don't see what the sun is doing to them on the inside, their internal organs, their brain, their heart, their kidneys, their liver, their lungs, etc. If the sun is fucking them up on the outside, we don't see what the sun is doing to them on the inside. It could be frying their fucking brain. See what I'm saying? The sun could be frying their brain. We don't know this. I seen a motherfucker the other day, this nigga looked like Hellboy. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm just the only one that's just like, what the fuck? I'm not like burnt out. I'm just like we're a different fucking, and the sun is going to show this shit. The sun is going to let everybody know that we're a different species. And I can't wait. I'm here for this shit, right? Because the government going to continue to say that we're all the same, this and that. We're all the same, one human race. Why the fuck are y'all walking around getting fucked up by the sun, though? And we're just glowing. I'm glowing. I be in the sun like this. I be in that motherfucker wanting to get butt naked. I be feeling so good in the sun. And don't let me take my shoes off and put my feet in the grass. I feel like high off that shit. I feel so good when I do that shit, when I'm grounded and sun gazing. The sun don't burn me. I get energy from the sun. We're a different species. So therefore, why the fuck should I have to listen to you and anything you have to tell me and my people? We're a different species. We're on a whole different frequency, bro. We're on a whole different frequency, man. We're on a whole different frequency, bro. You feel me? That's just how I feel, though. I don't know how y'all feel about this shit. Because a lot of people are like, you know, they got kids and shit. You know, so they in survival mode and they got to take care of them kids. So they don't even have the ability. I'm not even gonna necessarily say the ability. They don't have the. They don't even have the option to think like this. They can't. They don't have the option to think like this. And it's set up like that for you to have kids early. You have kids, and then once your ass have kids, you just want to motherfucking take care of your kids. You're not worried about. You just want to get a good job and take care of your kids. You're not thinking like, damn, why the fuck are we even doing this shit, bro? Like, is this who a life is supposed to be? We just going to fucking work and paying bills our whole life. Then we get old to the point where we can't do nothing but sit on our fucking ass and watch fucking cowboys and fucking TV, and then we die. Because if your ass was, if you, all right, this is what it is. You work until you get old, and then you get old, and now your ass is at home until you die, right? Because if you was still trying to work for this factory that you was working for your whole life, you'll be in there fucking shit up. Because you're old. Your physical body is old now. Your soul still wants to do this shit. Your soul's like, oh, let me work. But your physical body is old. So now they give your ass retirement. You've done enough. Now you just wasted your whole fucking life working for these motherfuckers and paying bills. Did you really get to enjoy this beautiful fucking planet? This planet is beautiful, bro. We're not supposed to be working and paying bills. And the people that are telling us to do this shit are inorganic beings. These motherfuckers can't even take no sun, bro. No disrespect to the sun. I'm just saying. And I'm not saying that when I say it like that, like they can't take no sun. I ain't saying like the sun is just nothing. I'm just saying like they can't take no sun, bro. And that should let everybody know like these motherfuckers is a whole different species. Why am I listening to you telling me what to do? You can't take no sun, bro. You and your ancestors was hanging my people from trees, nigga. You was hanging us from trees. Why the fuck would I want to put my kids in your education system, anything like that? Why would I want to eat the food you have for us, anything like that? You have no good intentions for me and my people, me and my species at all. So why the fuck would I want to listen to anything you have to say? Why would I want to obey your laws? That's just how I feel. I don't know how y'all feel. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? And we all need to wake the fuck up and realize that this is our motherfucking planet and we are being dictated by a government and a species that's inorganic to this motherfucking planet, which is actually a fucking shadow government. I mean, the shadow government is really the motherfucker that's running this shit. But in order for us to even get to the point where we realize that, we have to get these motherfuckers out the way that are telling us that we have to do all this shit, and they a whole different species, bro. They a whole different species. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. I feel like we shouldn't be paying no motherfucking bills. We shouldn't be motherfucking eating the food that they're putting, like promoting to us. We shouldn't be eating their same diet. We shouldn't have the same diet as these people. We shouldn't be in the same medical system as these people because they're a different species. You may diagnose me with some shit that works for you and your species, man. And that shit may fuck me and my species up because we're a different species, right? You may be trying to teach my kids some shit, some math, etc., but you're not teaching them correctly because you're a different species. You don't know how to talk to them properly. You haven't been through what they've been through. You don't come from the same environment that they come through, so you can't properly connect with my child so they can learn to the best of their knowledge because you're a different fucking species. How is the Caucasian going to teach a black or a Latino kid anything in the black and Latino kid really grasps the message and the knowledge to the best of their ability? How are they going to do that when they're a different species? The Caucasians don't know how to communicate with the black or the Latino and make them really learn this shit? How is the black or Latino teacher going to communicate with the Caucasian if the black or Latino teacher that hasn't been in the Caucasian environment and they don't know how to communicate with the Caucasian so they can learn this shit? I'm not just saying this shit for blacks and Latinos, for blacks. White people, y'all need your own shit too. Y'all don't need to have y'all don't need to be eating our food. Y'all can eat anything, honestly, because y'all hydrochloric acid is hot as fuck and it's gonna digest the shit. But y'all need your own shit. I really don't give a fuck about y'all shit. This not about y'all. This video is about my people. You know what I'm saying? This video about my people, bro. And we need our own shit. We need our own education system. We need our own medical system. We need our own law enforcement. We need our own government. We need our own all that shit, bro. Our own food, our own all that shit. Because we are different species. I ain't gonna make this video too long, man. I hope all y'all vibrating at a high frequency. Not letting no negative energy stop y'all positive energy. I just wanted to say this real quick, man, because I feel like we need to be separated, man. I feel like we need to be separated. I feel like we need our own education system, our own government, our own healthcare, our own religion, because black people's religion is really spirituality. All this shit is man-made. And when I say man-made, I'm talking about these Caucasians, these Europeans, these Neanderthals came up with this, and they really came up with all this shit to divide us, really. We need our own shit. Black people need to practice spirituality. Not no fucking religion bullshit. We need to practice spirituality. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to practice no punk-ass religion. That's what the white man gave to us so they can divide us more and more. That's not our shit. You know what I'm saying? But I hope all y'all vibrating at a high frequency, man. Not let no negative energy stop y'all positive energy. Yeah, that's just how I feel, man.